Hey, Gabriel Blake.
Hey, gaybro Jose.
Where are we today?
We are in our apartments, and to be honest, it's kind of looking like a dive bar here right now. So I need to do some cleaning, but at least I feel like we're recording from a dive bar.
So basically, that's exactly what a bar requires for becoming divey, like just living there for 6 months without leaving it.
Yeah, just piles of underwear and clothing and two filthy dogs.
Yeah, I mean, come on, let's be fair. If there was like a gay dive bar that had like piles of used underwear everywhere, you could be happy.
My sister listens to this, Jose.
I would take that as
But
a
yes,
yes. So, what do we watch today?
we watched the Tom Tykwer film from, I believe it was 2002.
Two? Yeah.
Called Heaven, starring
Mm-hmm.
Cate Blanchett and Giovanni Ribisi, who I had no idea spoke Italian.
No, I mean, with that name, the hard thing is I'm not speaking Italian. But yeah, and this was actually your pick. Why did you pick it?
We picked Heaven because I was absolutely obsessed with this film as a young, like a 20-something person. At the time, I was very pretentious about Krzysztof Kieslowski, and I was like watching like the Decalogue and
And the
telling all my friends,
Tricolors,
"Oh,
yeah.
you watch normal movies? Let me tell you about what I watch."
Mother of God.
But then Tom Tykwer, who is a fairly accessible director, took this script by Kieslowski and turned it into what you might call a mainstream film.
Mhm.
But it's very artistic, and I felt like it was deep. I'm not so convinced now as a 36-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw this film and I thought, wow, this is moody, it's beautiful, it doesn't even pretend to be based in reality. And I wanted to rewatch it
Cinema.
as an adult. This is cinema. So, and then I mentioned this on my last podcast, but I picked this for some reason. I know you told me, but I thought you hadn't seen it. And I wanted you to see it. You've already seen it, and we just watched Run Lola Run, and I wanted to wash that out of my mouth and see something else Tom Tykwer had done.
No, that's completely fair. And as it was your pick, I guess that I had to summarize in some kind of way.
Please do.
So this is the story of Cate Blanchett, a British teacher that lives in Italy.
Where in Italy? Do you remember the name of the town?
Touring, as the touring horse.
I was so happy when that happened.
Yeah, I have forgotten that part. Is like, wait a second, touring. Is like, okay, like the other touring horse. But yeah, she actually is a teacher there. And one day, well, that's like the opening scene is that she goes to an office building and she tries to kill a businessman. With a bomb. It's like we don't know exactly who the businessman is or like the relationship or anything. She just do like anonymous call, like just telling him is that hey, there is a bomb at your apartment, is that you're going to die. Well, at your apartment, in your office. But the cleaning lady passes through, it takes the bombs away, and ends up like just killing herself and also like a father with two little girls. And it's like pretty important for the story later. So as she actually gave the name about like my name is whatever you're going to die because it's a vindictive kind of gesture, she gets detained immediately by the carabinier. And most of the movie, the rest of the first act is actually the interrogatory. Is that the questioning? I don't know how to say this in English. Interrogation, yeah, the interrogation of Cate Blanchett. And then is the main actress by the carabinier about like why did you do it? Is this a terrorist act? Who helped you out? What is going on? But what no one was expecting is that one of the new recruits of the police, the carabinier, Giovanni Ribisi, falls in love with her.
So you skipped so her husband was a normal guy?
Well, but that's something that actually just comes afterwards, you know. It's a bit more like when they start like with interrogation, is that they asking about like what is the deal? Is that why did you kill him? Why did you try to kill him? So she started like just saying that she brought like multiple letters She called multiple times to the carabinier about this guy, and this guy is actually just like a drug lord, and he has been selling drugs to kids and also to adults. And here's her husband, or her ex-husband, because they were in the divorce process, actually died of an overdose with drugs that this guy saw him. Sorry.
And some of her own students are overdosing from drugs from this guy.
So she has a personal vendetta. She actually has like a personal interest for this person to die. It's not about like a crusade about like, I don't know, like Italy businessman. It's a bit more like just targeted to this specific person. And she actually, as a gimmick of the movie for just making the characters like just being a bit closer together, albeit she can speak like perfect Italian, she decides that she doesn't want to give her testimony in Italian. So they need to find someone to translate, and the only person in the room when she started like giving her testimony that can speak English is Giovanni Ribisi, Filippo, and so he actually becomes a bit more involved with her. And as the testimony keeps progressing, there starts like to be like a relationship between them. He decides to help her out. He's in love with her. At the same time, his father is at the head of the carabinier, and he actually tells him, I'm in love with someone. He doesn't tell who that is, but then at the end, with a very convoluted kind of situation, they end up like running away. They run into
he plans her escape, and sends her code, like secret messages. If you want to escape, I want to help you, and she does.
Yeah, and at the end they actually escape, both of them together, to a bit more of a beautiful rural Italy, where they actually just save the hair, like Sinead O'Connor, and then basically, I mean, I have to say that is at the last part of the movie, I didn't like it at all. I just felt like, oh, come on. It started pretty well. It started like just derailing like half through it, and it started just becoming like worse and worse, and end up like just seeing at this house from her friend that magically sees in a wedding around there. I don't even know if it's like just coincidence or not. They don't really explain it, but it's like she lives not that far away, and they end up like just spending the night there, but she betrays them, and then the police show up. And then just in a very, very amateur novice move is that they can hijack a helicopter and then just flew away into heaven.
Okay, so with your sarcasm and your caustic explanation of the synopsis, I will make an assumption that you did not like this movie.
No, look, this is the second time that I watched it. The first time that I watched it, it was because I love Run Lola Run. I thought that aesthetically it was amazing, and I wanted to just see what else can this director do. You know, is that the script of Run Lola Run is by definition not his strength point. It's like he is aware. Tom Tykwer is aware about the limitations of that script. So I watched The Princess and the Warrior and Heaven. I love the acting from Cate Blanchett, especially at the beginning when they tell them, is that, hey, you killed 4 people. And she breaks down.
Yeah,
I love that part.
So that scene, there's a moment when she's arrested by the Carbonari, and she is just very like she's not indignant, but she doesn't regret what she did because she thinks she killed this guy. And in the course of the interrogation, she finds out that not only did that bomb not kill that guy, that she killed 4 innocent people. And the acting in this scene, watching her go from proud to completely horrified and ashamed of what she's done and completely devastated. I mean, it's astounding. That scene, and you're like, Cate Blanchett is everything. She is so fucking good.
Yeah, that scene that actually summarized the whole movie. It's like, that's the problem that I have, is that the movie starts so strong. You know, it's like, it's maybe like, okay, you know, there are like some scenes that maybe will have cut back, you know, like a bit more like the over dramatization of the father with the 2 girls going to the office buildings. Like, maybe we don't need so many scenes about this, you know. But it's like, true, okay, you want me to just care about them, but it's like, I don't. I know that they're going to
You
die
really
almost.
didn't care about those characters?
No, because almost from the first scene when they actually show up, it's like I know that they're going to die. Even when they actually look at her, like the one of the girls, they look at her when they cross paths. It's like I know that they're going to die. It's that there is not going to be any kind of consequences. And Cate Blanchett doesn't really remember that. When they tell them, it's like a father died with two girls. It's like she doesn't say, "Oh my God, I saw them." It's like no, it's about more of the perspective of I killed other people that I wasn't intended. I didn't kill someone that deserved to die. I killed people that they were completely innocent. Or maybe they weren't, but it's like they were not the people that I intended to kill. So they don't add anything in those scenes.
The way you presented the plot is both accurate and inaccurate, in my opinion. Because, yeah, if you just spell it out, it sounds very, very trite. But for me personally, there's a lot more to this film. Just in the sense of mood and mise-en-scène, and the music is killer, and I fell in love with all of these characters, and I felt for Philippa, which is Cate Blanchett. I felt for Filippo, which is Giovanni Ribisi,
Phoebe's brother.
And it's very, very clear, and I was trying to look up now if Kieslowski wrote any of the script, but I think Tom Tykwer finished it, but I can't verify that right now. I don't think that Tom Tykwer could elevate the material the way Kieslowski could, but it doesn't matter. There's something to the script that really, really resonated with me, and I want to be clear, none of these filmmakers had any interest in grounding this in reality. It's not like you can poke plot, like holes into the plot any way you want. That's not the point. It's not trying to be reality. It's trying to make you feel, I think, this film. And it made me feel things. And as you said just minutes ago, aesthetically, it's incredible. And for me, it's worth it 100%. The score, the visuals, them having some time in Tuscany, her confessing in a church in I don't know what city they were in at that point.
Was it no, I thought that it was San Gimignano, but no, it wasn't.
This film, I loved this film as much as I did when I saw it as a pretentious 25-year-old, and I love it. I love it.
For me, it was a bit like the other way around. It's like for me, it's like I could see like all these themes, and I thought that it's like, look, the problem that I have is that the material is not bad per se, but it's like I wish two directors that they came to my mind is like I thought there's like Tom Tykwer is like pretty limited. At that point, I was thinking like a late teens, early 20s kind of person, and I was thinking that Tom Tykwer had more talent than he actually has. It's something interesting that is like for me now that I watch it in perspective is like you were working with some raw material that it was great, that I can see that there is some kind of vision, and you brought your aesthetics. There are like some scenes that they look gorgeous, that they look like, okay, that's great, but it was like the atmosphere for me, it doesn't work. I think that this is a movie that they're like two directors like Jacques Audiard.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Jacques Audiard, the director of the beat My Heart Skipped.
Oh, Jacques Audiard?
Yeah. Yeah, and Haneke. I think that they could have done like something significantly more important than what Tom Tykwer did. Now, if Haneke directed this would have had like a terrible ending compared with the ideas like, okay, let's run away on the helicopter.
So I agree with you. Tom Tykwer is not that talented of a director. And this film could have been more, 100%. But I disagree with you. Michael Haneke does not have the delicacy to handle something like that. He would have had to hammer us over the head over and over to be like, these are terrible people. Everyone is terrible. You're terrible as the viewer. I'm terrible as the director. There's a delicacy to this that's beautiful and sweet, at least for me, that there's no way in hell that Haneke could have done this.
Look, I mean, for me, it's like from the point that he actually confessed to his father, I'm in love. It's like, so you're in love with the woman that you just held the arm of, because basically it's that you actually see that she regrets killing for people that he was not intended. It's like, from that point there is like some kind of line that is crossed that is like, I cannot empathize. I cannot empathize with these people. None of them. I'm sorry, but it's like I just feel like she was like just killing in the most indirect way. This guy, if he was like completely vindictive, she could have like stepped into the room with a gun and just killed him.
Well, she did that at the end.
At the end, yeah, because he actually gave him the gun. But it's like, why did you actually leave a bomb there?
Well, she has a very frank conversation that she's like, look, I did a lot of really stupid things, and she found that bomb in her apartment from her husband, and she was just like, I'll use this. She's not a terrorist, but she tried to be a terrorist and made a lot of stupid mistakes. But I can definitely empathize with her, Philippa, and I don't know, maybe it's the child in me, but I could understand Filippo, who fell in love with her, and just to be clear, there's no eroticism in this movie. It's not that he wants to fuck her, it's that he's fallen in love with this idealist that wants to protect the world from a drug lord. Like, I get that kind of naivete, and we should call out that this was supposed to be part of a trilogy that Kieslowski had planned that was Heaven, Hell, and Purgatory, but he died in 1996, so none of it came to fruition, and Tom Tykwer tried to bring this with his limited skills as a director, which I agree with.
But the thing is that, look, we are talking about a director that the only reason why I know him is because of the Three Colors trilogy, that it was like a couple of them. So
you didn't watch the Decalogue?
No, I didn't. I was Blue and Red, I think. They were like extremely popular when they were releasing in Spain. You know?
I can't remember, but I only found one of those worth my time. I think it was Blue.
And Blue is that the drama one with Julia Vinyos, and I think that's the most popular one. But the thing here is like, out of all the European directors, it's like, why Tom Tykwer? Why?
No, I agree. I mean, in the hands of a better director, this could have been a better film. I 100% agree.
Yeah, and also the potential is like the cinematography. There are some scenes similar to what we were talking, and that's the reason why maybe I'm thinking about Aldiar, and whatever is the correct pronunciation. I'm thinking about, oh no, actually I'm not thinking about him. I'm thinking about Bad Blood. There was Leo Carax.
You think that Leos Carax could have done this better?
No, he couldn't. I don't think that he can do anything good. But I was thinking about the directing, you know, some of the scenes, some of the cinematography, you know, of Leo Carax in Bad Blood, like when they're like just falling from, you know, with a parachute and just looking up, is that's perfectly designed. And I think that there are like so many scenes in this movie that they are like perfectly designed, like when they are like getting naked in front of the tree with the sunset. It's like, sure, I mean, this is like a completely artificial scene, but it still looks beautiful, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that we're saying the same thing, that there are there are opportunities for improvement, that it could have been handled better by a better director. I just think I liked it more than you.
Oh, yes.
And it's because it did resonate with me emotionally. And maybe that's because I'm like an emo. I have an emo little boy where like very sparse piano music can make me feel things. But no, I loved it.
No, I mean, it's completely fine. But it's like, for me, it's like when I watched it the first time, I thought that it's like, wow, Tom Tykwer has some talent. There is like so much in here. Now, when I see this movie again, I think it's like, wow, Cate Blanchett is amazing. Even when the script is garbage, is that she can actually defend a character like this.
But wait. Do you think the script is garbage, or do you think the direction is garbage? Because I think there's a lot here in the script. It was just Tom Tykwer's decisions that limited it.
I think that with a stronger direction, this could have been stronger. But I think that there is like something on the script, you know, just from the story perspective. As I was telling you, is that when Phoebe's brother falls in love with Cate Blanchett, immediately it's a bit more of a, even just by design, there is something here that is a stretch. that it required like some kind of suspension of disbelief from my side.
What if Tarsem Singh had directed this?
I think that Tarzan Singh from an aesthetic perspective is stronger
Than Tom
than Tom Tykwer, you know.
Do you think he could have elicited it didn't resonate with you emotionally, right? Do you think he could have made you resonate with this film more emotionally?
Well, maybe they have changed Phoebe's brother role, sort of like character, with that girl from the fall. Maybe I could have related a bit more. You know.
By the way, did Cate Blanchett's friend? Did you recognize her?
Where's she from?
I was like, I know that girl, and then it hit me halfway through the film. Well, probably towards the end. That's when she shows up. She is the love interest that commits suicide in The Talented Mr. Ripley. The one that Jude Law gets pregnant, and so she throws.
So both of them, Cate Blanchett and that woman, they are both on The Talented
Mr. Ripley. I mean, I haven't verified this on IMDb, but when it clicked, I was like, oh yeah, that's the Jude Law. That's who begged Jude Law to leave Gwyneth Paltrow in The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Huh. Okay, that's amazing. No, I didn't realize about that. Talented. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Huh. Okay, no, that's amazing. Overall, I mean, I didn't dislike it. I mean, this is a movie that I'm going to remember as, you know, like the movie progress. I started like remember when they are on the attic, like trapped on the room that they cannot leave. But the thing is that there is so much suspension of disbelief that you have to apply, and there is no. I think that the aesthetics, or not aesthetics, but exactly what it works for you, that is like the atmosphere that is built, it actually helps you look over, you know, or just ignore like all the suspension of disbelief and all the plot holes that they are presented. For me, it doesn't work up to that point, and that's the point that I have.
And that's totally fair. I get it. There are plot holes. I do want to be super clear that Kieslowski never really based things in reality. It's been like alternate universes where rules don't apply and there's not like a lot of logic. And I'm willing to forgive those things for something very beautiful. And I feel like this is an extremely beautiful film. Whether or not you buy that, oh, this translator would logically fall in love with this terrorist murderer or not, I'm on board. Take me on your emotionally manipulative trip and show me beautiful things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. It's like myself from probably 17, 16 years ago, it would have agreed with you completely. It's like I'm fine with just applying the suspension of disbelief and say just bring whatever you want, I will swallow it. And yeah, I use that word deliberately. No. I mean, like that's probably 14 years ago, who knows? But right now, I just felt, I don't know, I think that I'm like a 40-year-old, a bit more jaded, a bit more like.
And you are more jaded. You've lost the magic of cinema.
Yeah. Well, come on, man. Come on.
So will you remember this film?
Yeah, I remember when we talked about this the last time, I was remembering in the other way around that it was like, okay, she's innocent, but then she falls in love with someone, and then she ends up committing like the terrorist act, and it's the other way around. It's that she actually commits the terrorist act, but it's not supposed to be a terrorist act. It's supposed to be a murder.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's the police that interpret it as terrorism.
Exactly. So, and then she falls in love with someone, and they end up going to heaven. You know. So from that perspective, it's like I remember like the other way around. If I'm going to remember this movie, it's like yeah, probably I would, because now as someone that have watched like way more cinema, it's going to be like just keeping this kind of yellow flag about like you remember this movie. Be careful.
Would you recommend this?
No.
What?
No, I wouldn't. There were way more movies, you know, like better in whatever all the different aspects that this movie is trying to succeed on.
I would recommend this to anybody who wants to like dip their toe into art cinema, because it's accessible in terms of you're not gonna have to like try and guess what the fuck happened at the end of the Turin horse. But there are qualities that people will value in this, and it's extremely beautiful.
Okay, no, that's completely fair. Honestly, from the completely beautiful, I think that it would go almost with the fall, you know?
So that brings up an interesting question. Which film do you think is superior, The Fall?
The Fall.
See, I don't. The Fall is gorgeous, and you know I've seen that film like 15 times, but I think there's something existential about this film that makes me think about myself differently and about others differently, and The Fall doesn't do that.
I think that's going to be like one of the biggest difference in score that we ever had.
I can see that coming.
Yeah, because when we actually talk about like the artistic stuff, it's like I think that there are artistic tastes here, but I think that it's a failed movie. I think that it's an okay movie, you know, it's like it tells a story from the beginning or the end. There is nothing like absolutely broken with it, but I think that what it's trying to do, it doesn't succeed on me. I don't relate to that.
These are all of this is subjective, right? It's personal opinion. Yeah. And I'm fully aware that there are problems with this film, I promise, but
No, you love it, and that's absolutely fine, you know, it's like, I'm not saying that it's like, I'm right and you're wrong, you know, I'm just saying that it's like, for me, I felt a bit surprised that when it started, I was like so impressed, and I told you before we started recording is that there was a scene that I couldn't like hear completely, like the words from Cate Blanchett. I said, maybe I just missed like the key aspects about it.
In that one conversation.
In that conversation, like this is where like the leitmotif of the whole movie is, you know, is that this is where everything just falls into place, and it's just everything is like when you summarize it to me, it's like, yeah, that's basically what I heard. So I didn't like just miss anything specific. So I just felt a bit like fool, you know, I just felt like someone trying to sell me. If you go like to a second-hand car dealership and they try to sell you like a really expensive car because they actually just wax it completely, and it's like then you actually just walk away with it, and then it rains. It's like the rain has been like this 15 years is the last time that I watched it, and now I see that it's like just completely falling apart.
You just compared this movie to like a shitty used car.
Come on, Tom Tykwer actually directed something that it was not for him, that it was for another director, that he took away.
It's fair. So would you watch this film again?
Maybe.
I would 100%. In fact, I'm thinking about making my husband watch
it. I may watch it, you know, just from the perspective is, okay, 15 years ago when I watched it, I felt like this is amazing. I want to watch more Tom Tykwer, and I wish that I could actually go back and remember, is like, what did I watch first, The Princess and the Warrior or Heaven? You know, because Princess and the Warrior, I remember that is mediocre. It's okay, but there is nothing like too easy to remember about it.
Princess in the Water? What is that?
And the Warrior with Franca Potente, directed by Tom Tykwer. Those were like the three movies that I watched, and I felt like, okay, overall, he's a good director. Now, after watching 2 out of those 3 movies, and I know that Princess and the Warrior is not going to change my opinion, I can say I don't think that Tom Tykwer is that such a good of a director.
Well, I'm gonna make you watch 3 or Dry, just to confirm that fact. I would absolutely watch this film again. Clearly we disagree 100%, but the score is going to be quite something.
Yeah. So should I score it first?
This was my pick, so yeah.
Yeah. My score is a 6.
Mine is an 8, and this might be incongruous with my scoring overall, but our most recent podcast was Jurassic Park, which I gave a 7.5, and I think this is a better film than Jurassic Park, so I gave...
Okay.
Because I literally just choked on the soda.
On my beers, I thought that it was going to die there. I like that it's okay. This is a better film than Jurassic Park, but not that much. But for me, this is actually a point above Jurassic Park, and I don't regret it.
Half a point.
No. This is a 6. No, I mean, like for me is that this is a 6, and Jurassic Park was a 7. I think that is completely correct. I will watch Jurassic Park again next year. I will watch Jurassic Park right now.
Well, it's your pick next. I'm going to pick Heaven the time after that, and we're going to talk about this again.
Are you going to be rotating between Wheat and Heaven?
Over and over until I
over.
see you cry.
Oh yeah, you will see me crying with Wheat. With Heaven, yeah, out of pain probably.
I desperately want to bring back our guest star from last episode and make him watch Wit.
Yeah, I don't know how we will feel about that. But my next pick, actually, when I was watching this movie, as I was telling you at the beginning, I think that is a movie that could have been directed by a very specific German director, but towards the end, I feel like this movie tries to be like more positive, more optimistic, and I think that Haneke would have never done that.
I see your point about having a better director. Michael Haneke is not that director. He's not. If he had taken this, he would have just destroyed this. Kieslowski would have rolled over in his grave.
Don't you think that he would have like also rolled with this?
Oh, for sure. Grave? I think he would probably vomited in his grave.
Yeah.
It's like, you produced this tripe.
Look, I think that is the thing is with Haneke, he has like a personal view. You know, it's like Tom Tykwer doesn't.
No,
that's my feeling.
You're completely right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But so he's good at setting a mood. Just like in Run Lola Run, he set a mood. It worked. In this movie, he set a mood. It worked for me, not for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, but for me, it's like I think that Run Lola Run is a better movie than this.
Oh my God! You're just breaking my little gay heart.
But now I'm a bit torn because it's like, I think that Cate Blanchett does an amazing job. I mean, she's defending the defendable. This is something that is like, that script, if I'm reading this, is like, okay, if I start at the first 20 pages, I have like an amazing role. If I actually keep reading, it's like, oh my goodness, no, don't do that.
I've never fancied myself an actor. I have no interest in making films or acting in films, but I do feel like if this script came to me, I was like, hey, are you interested? I feel like I would read the script and be like, hell yeah, let's go on this ride.
I tell you again, if I was an actor and I only read the first act, I would say like, holy shit, yes. I mean, that sounds amazing. Then the rest, when it turns into this kind of adventure thing, no. I would be like, nah, thank you, I'm good. But yeah, going back to the movie next week, talking about Haneke, we have had like this movie for a very long time to watch movies. But I think that it was like the first movie when we started like just confirming that we both can enjoy cinema.
This is the conversation that made me fall in love with you in a platonic way. It was the second time that we met. The first time was a Björk concert, but then you and your boyfriend and me and a blind date went.
Oh my God! The other Paul, yeah.
The other Paul went on we went out, the four of us, and Jose mentioned that he knew the films of Michael Haneke, and then I think we just ignored everyone for the rest of the evening. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. So. I want us to watch Funny Games again, and just watch it. We have discussed this film like for so long that is like I think that probably is not going to be like the longest podcast ever. But it's like we talk a lot about Haneke and this film. It's like we both consider it like an important film, and it's an important film in a way that I think that Heaven could have been.
What you just said, 100%, I agree with you. I just don't think Michael Haneke should have directed.
No, look, I'm just interested about like what he could have made with that concept. It's like, because the thing is like I love the first act because it's a bit more nihilistic, but when he tries to just uplift it, and just take it to heaven, this is done.
So just to be clear, Haneke directed two versions of
Funny Games.
Which one are we watching?
Oh, definitely. We're watching the Austrian version.
All right. So then the next week I'll pick the American version.
No. Aren't they like basically the same movie?
Well, that's what all joking aside, that's what I find interesting about it, is he wrote both the scripts, but there are very minor changes that I consider important. And so I was trying to understand what he was trying to say with his American version, because there were these like nuances. But I do think the Austrian version, obviously, it's the original. It's what
more
we
impactful.
probably want to talk about.
Yeah, no, that's cool because I never watched the American version.
I saw it at Sundance with Michael Haneke.
He was in the room?
He was.
Did you take a selfie with him?
No, I didn't get close to him because I thought he might murder me. So
I wish that I was murdered by Michael Haneke. That would be like my favorite way to go. You know, if someone has to murder me, I wish there is someone that had made me feel so bad as to deserve to be murdered.
And then turn that murder into art, and to make everybody who watched it feel bad about themselves.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, it's not about like me murdering this guy. It's about like you feeling bad about humanity because I murdered.
You wanted to watch that. Fuck you.
Someday we should actually just watch Cate again. Cate.
Yeah, and I still want you to watch The Seventh Continent, man.
That's on the list.
Film blew me away.
Yeah. Okay, man. Anything else to say about Heaven?
No. I mean, if you're someone who values style over substance, this is a film for you. If you love The Fall, I'm guessing you would like this. And there are issues, but overall, I think it's a great film.
I love The Fall. I love. Well, it's okay for you. I love The Fall. I will still not recommend this to anyone that loves The Fall.
We need a third party. We need to find somebody to watch Heaven and join this conversation.
Yeah, but the problem is that this actually falls into the artsy side, you know? And it's like, you know how our previous guest star feels about artsy.
Oh, geez. Poor Edwin. I would just like to apologize to him for making him watch anime.
I mean, I had to say that I appreciate that he was the only person out of everyone that has participated in this podcast that ever took formal notes about a movie.
Yeah, thank you, Edwin. I know you felt uncomfortable. We appreciated your opinion. Come back, please.
Yeah, we miss you. We miss you now. Okay, man. Anything else?
That's it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for everyone that is listening to this and just putting up with our artsy passion for cinema.
Wash your hands.
Bye.